Hi, we're here with Hope with Answers, and my name is Gina Hollenbeck. I'm a stage 4 lung cancer survivor and advocate, and I am here with Dr. Jessica Donington.
I'm Jessica Donington. I'm a thoracic surgeon. I also do clinical research and translational research in lung cancer.
Yeah, we've been talking a little bit about research, but we just wanted to kind of see if you could help us dig through some of the terminology about research. What is the difference between a clinical trial and a clinical study?
I'll start with clinical study because that's a little easier. So clinical studies are any research we do related to cancer care or to any patient treatments, but they tend not to be ones that patients kind of need to actively participate in. Often they're what we call retrospective, meaning that I can look at the last 100 or 1,000 patients operated on for lung cancer in my hospital and see, oh goodness, those who had a minimally invasive surgery did better, had fewer complications than those who had an open surgery. And that is a clinical study that the patients didn't really know they were participating in. We simply looked back and said, oh, we've made this observation and now we want to move it forward. A clinical trial is when we actually ask patients to actively participate in either a new treatment or use a new medicine, and that's how we get those medicines into standard treatment protocols. So we do have to ask patients, we have to explain the trial and say, hey, do you want to participate? We think this would be a good thing for you. It's a little bit hard for patients. We don't always know if the new treatment is better or worse. I think one thing that's really important for patients to know is that when you're on a clinical trial, you're always going to get the best care we have, plus or minus this new care. It's not like, oh, we're going to give you no treatment or this cool treatment. Right. It's the best treatment plus this treatment we think might also be really good.
Yeah, well, as a patient, I'm a stage 4 lung cancer patient. I know that we need more research. And so I really want to be able to become involved with research. So I think that the best way for patients to get involved with research is to see if you're eligible for a clinical trial, right?
Right. So clinical trials are so valuable and patients are the key. We can think of the coolest treatment strategies in the world, but without patients, they don't move forward. So so clinical trial is one of the most exciting things that patients can do to further cancer research. There are other things, though. There aren't clinical trials for every patient.
Yeah.
Not every stage, not every situation is there currently a trial for that. And there's still a lot of things that patients can do.
Yeah, I get so excited about clinical trials. So I find some that sometimes it seems like I'm eligible for, but then I'll call and I won't, and I don't qualify for them for whatever reason.
For whatever reason,
and
right.
So what are some other ways that patients can get involved in research without if you're not eligible for a clinical trial?
There's a number of ways. So two of the biggest ones are one, every institution, every hospital, every funding agency has a review board that reviews trials, decides which ones are good, which ones are bad, which ones are important to move forward. And all of those review boards have patients on them. Patient advocates, patients' opinions, those are so important. And for someone who kind of might like the science of what we're doing and want to be more involved on that level, a review board is a great way. And your doctor should be able to tell you if your hospital has such a thing.
So patients can be involved in review boards. That's awesome.
They have to be. They're like regulated that they have to. So
find out about that.
Right.
Yeah, that's great. So what about like the rest of my family? So when I got diagnosed, my community just supported me, which was wonderful and amazing. And they started bringing me like a whole bunch of hams and stuff like that. And they just wanted to help, How can they help?
So I think that's the other thing that's really important for our patients to know is advocacy and fundraising are so important.
For research.
They've been a little lacking in lung cancer for a while.
Yeah.
And so I think this is really a time to think about that. Research moves forward in little steps at a time.
Yeah.
And our patients are by far our best advocates. They're the most sympathetic, the most truthful. They have the best and strongest message to mobilize our communities and to raise funds. Mm-hmm. And step by step, we saw what each little dollar and each little engaged person did for breast cancer. And we
Yeah.
took breast cancer from being,
We
you know,
see pink everywhere.
incurable to totally curable. And that was all about engagement of the community, fundraising, and advocacy. And it was $1 and one walk at a time.
That's right.
And we did it as a community. And lung cancer still needs that. So that's a really important way that patients and their families can contribute.
Great. Well, thank you so much for being here with us, Dr. Donington. I'm Gina Hollenbeck, and this is Hope with Answers.
Thanks.